What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Too Pop to Handle. I'm your host, Andrew Nucatola, your pop culture best friend, and as always, I hope you guys are having a fabulous week. If you're anything like me, which I'm sure you are counting down the minute, the seconds to having a paid holiday this week. Though I am not thrilled to be celebrating our country for the 4th of July because it's a little scary times right now, little freaky business going on in America, a little backwards. I'm not thrilled to be celebrating our country. I will take the paid day off. I will take the holiday because you guys, I need it. I need this short week so bad. Pride weekend in New York killed me. Oh my God. It was quite the time. I went into this month saying I am going to be too proud to handle, and I think I accomplished that because holy shit, I don't know who I thought I was, what I was doing. I just knew I was out. I was having a good time. I was living my damn life. I was acting like I was unemployed, had nowhere to be for work on Friday morning because I went out Thursday. What Monday I was out until 2 a.m. As if I didn't have to be at work at 9. Like I don't know who I thought I was, but my God, let's get into this weekend because it was one for the books. I'm seeing so much like chitter chatter online. Half the internet had like the best time ever at Pride this weekend, and then the other half of the internet is saying it was the worst Pride ever. And like to be completely honest, Pride is what you make it. So if you didn't have fun, I completely blame you because there is so much to do, especially in New York all weekend long. If you didn't have fun at Pride, you were with the wrong people, you were doing the wrong things. That's on you, baby. Because like Pride is what you make it. So let's make it rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. And with that, this Pride rocked my goddamn socks off. We started our festivities on Thursday, as one does. And yes, I did have to go into the office Friday morning. Did I let that stop me? No, because I completely blacked out on Thursday. I don't know who I thought I was. I was just like, you know what? I'll be fine. We'll be all right. I was not all right. We went to happy hour in Hell's Kitchen. We went to Rise Bar, which anytime I go to Rise, I always end up having like the craziest night. We got there at 6 p.m. We left at 10. It wasn't even that long of a night, but girl, I don't know what was going on. I don't know. It's the energy. Maybe it's I mean, realistically, it's the buy one, get one free double tequila sodas that they have for happy hour that like really sent me over the edge. 7:30 hit and I was like, "Oh girl, it's going to be a night. I am going to hate myself tomorrow, but it will be okay. I'll be fine." We went out with some of our friends. We just had some drinks. I don't even know when the night took a turn, where it took a turn. Like I said, we didn't even get home that late, but my God, did they kick my ass at this bar? But I had the best time. So much fun. There is nothing better than a gay bar that plays music videos on every single wall of the bar, and that's exactly what Rise does. They were playing drag race lip syncs, music videos. If you're a New York gay, you've probably been to Rise. It's like very popular. I had the time of my life. I don't remember most of it, but you know what? I made it to work Friday. I was definitely on the struggle bus, but we made it. You know what I mean? That's all that matters. And that being said, Friday night, we were like, let's love ourselves because we have a lot planned for the weekend. We were like, let's not overdo it too much. Thursday really was like the kickoff, and then Friday we were like, maybe we do like a little wholesome night and like relax, and then that way we're prepped for the weekend because Saturday, Sunday packed a punch. So Friday we ordered some takeout. We ate it in Central Park. It was gorgeous, stunning, obsessed, loved it. And then we actually, Thomas, my boyfriend, how lovely is he, surprised me with the Sabrina Carpenter Van Leeuwen collab. I don't know if you've seen, but she released an ice cream collab. It's coffee flavored, me espresso, if you will. It was delicious. It was so good. We loved it. So we had tacos in the park. We came home. We ate some ice cream. We watched Drag Race. Very wholesome. Very, we were like, let's like do a self-care day after we just went on a bender for 4 hours on Thursday and before we continued the bender Saturday, Sunday. It was a lot. It was a blast. I loved it. Saturday rolls around and we were going to see Trixie Mattel that night, and then we were had plans to go out in the village, and we had a little pregame, nothing crazy. We ordered pizza, had some high noons. We kept it cute. We kept it real cute for the pregame, some music, some chit chat, nothing crazy. Made our way over to Central Park and we had so much fun. But the elephant in the room, I did see Jojo Siwa live in the flesh, live in concert, and It was something. Let me tell you that much. It was something else. There were a few DJs before her. Amanda Lepore, she performed. Jess King performed, who I didn't wasn't familiar with, but she was actually like a killer DJ. She was so good, so that was fun. And then Jojo Siwa graces us with her presence on stage, and it was exactly what you would think of it. It was something else. I don't even know really exactly how to explain what I witnessed. It, First of all, she comes out and she has teddy bears on her tits. And I was like, okay, definitely a choice. Mind you, there was at least 10 little girls there with bows in their hair, Jojo Siwa shirts. Some of them had her Karma makeup, like that Kiss knockoff makeup. Like the girls were out for Jojo Siwa and they had to be 10 and under. And I don't think their parents realized what they were getting into when they brought their children to this JoJo Siwa concert in Central Park for Pride, because JoJo was absolutely not the Nickelodeon doll that we all knew and loved back in the day. She Here's the thing. It's not even that she's like a bad singer. She's a killer dancer. I will give her that. She has some stage presence. Like it wasn't that she is like a bad performer or anything. I mean, she wasn't good, but she wasn't, I've seen worse. I'll say that. Like, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Her whole just like demeanor is so, I don't even know the words to say. And like, I'm all for it. Do your thing, be you. Yeah, I don't care. I don't, if that you want to act crazy on stage, go ahead. But I am just like, what is she having? Because I'll take some. Because the way that she just keeps up this like bad girl act, like, girl, what the hell are you taking that you were able to do this? Because the entire time she was on stage, she had this like bad girl, can do no wrong. Like one person booed her, and I kid you not, nobody even heard it. Not one person around me knew that anybody booed. They had to be in the second row, booed her. 15 minutes of her ranting about why you're booing me. Why'd you boo me? Who the fuck booed me? Who the fuck do you think you are? Who was it? Like pointing at the crowd. Like, girl, what are you gonna go fight them with their little teddy bear titties? Girl, like, it's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And she performed for a solid like 30, 40 minutes. I was like, when did you get this many songs? Like, when did I thought it was just the one. I thought it was just the Karma's a bitch moment and like Boomerang, which she did sing, which is literally a Nickelodeon song. So I don't know how that's flying with the people over at Nickelodeon that this new JoJo is performing Boomerang. It would be like Bangers, Miley Cyrus performing Best of Both Worlds. Like it just like it's like water and oil. They just don't mix. And I don't understand. I get it. She's 21. She's trying to have fun. She's doing this. She's gay. She's a lesbian, whatever you want to call it. I get it. And I support that. When JoJo came out, I was very behind it. I was like, good for you. There is a young, like, icon for these girls, for these kids to see like a gay person in their space on Nickelodeon. It was huge. I was honestly very thrilled about it. And the last few months, I am just like, girl, you need to pack this up. Like, it is just getting crazy. It's, dare I say, it's getting too pop to handle. And that takes a lot for me to say in a negative way. You know what I mean? Like it's getting to a point where I'm like, when are we gonna cut the bit? When are we gonna go back to just like being a lesbian and not being like this? Because it's a lot. It's a lot. I know she's doing it for the bit, and like I commend her for that. You know what I mean? Like if anything, she's committed. She is committed. She is dedicated. She is doing her damn thing, but like, my God, can I'm just gonna leave it at that because it was something else. But I was not letting that ruin my weekend at all. Like I was still like did my thing. I had fun. I definitely needed a drink or two to get through it. But you know what? We did it. And then Trixie came out. She did her DJ set. And we saw her last year during Pride for her DJ set, her Solid Pink Disco. She upped her game so much this year. I was genuinely so impressed. The music was great. The mixes were great. The visuals, she spent money on those visuals. Let me tell you, every song had a different animation. The animations like fit with the music. Like it wasn't just like she was up there with like the Trixie Mattel logo behind her. Last year she had visuals too, but for some reason this year they just like they stepped it up. She either hired a new animator or like they had a whole new idea because it was so good. The music was good, the mixes were good, she was having fun. It ended up raining, and honestly, like normally I would not love to be just like outside in the rain, but when you're at a rave and it's, Pride and you're watching Trixie Mattel, like it was kind of just like a moment. Like listening to ABBA while it rains, while Trixie Mattel was on stage DJing Pride weekend in Central Park. I was like, this is what Lizzie McGuire and Hilary Duff were singing about. This is what dreams are made of. Like this is how I should be spending my Saturday night. And it was so fun. So once we wrapped up with Miss Trixie Mattel, we headed home, we dried off, we changed, we grabbed some food because the night was not over yet. It was only 10 o'clock. I was not ending my Pride Saturday at 10 p.m. Absolutely not. So we headed downtown to the West Village, met up with my friends Kayla and Shay. We made our way over to Playhouse, and it was a goddamn time. Whoever the DJ Saturday night at Playhouse was needs all of the raises. Their mixes, the songs they played, just everything they did was so good. They literally did the perfect mashup of We Can't Be Friends and Dancing on My Own, which isn't hard to mash up, but the way that they did it was so perfectly executed. You didn't know when it was going to switch, you didn't know how it was going to switch, but it was like the perfect mix of these two songs that are obviously We Can't Be Friends is inspired by Dancing on My Own. I'm not kidding. It was life-changing. They started the song and it was Dancing on My Own. And then Ariana started, and we all literally, it was like the loudest gay gasp I have ever heard in my life because we knew it was possible, but like they went there. And then they switched to Robin, and then they would switch back to Ari. It was so good. And just all of the mixes. I mean, the mixes, the songs in general, the vibe was good. It was so much fun. So we were there until like 1:30. And then like any night in the West Village, you have to stop and get a slice at Bleecker Street Pizza. So we made our way over there, got ourselves a slice or two, and then we ended the night. I think we were home by like 3, which is late, but like knowing that some people were out until 7 a.m., I'm like, you know what? That's like a wholesome Pride night. You know what I mean? Like compared to what some people were doing and how late some people were out, 3 a.m., not that bad. It's a walk in the park, a walk in Central Park with Trixie Mattel, if you will. So then Sunday we wake up and we obviously needed to recoup a little bit because we were then headed to $3 Bill for Love Prism to go there from 4 p.m. until potentially 4 a.m. because that's how long the ticket was. And we just were like, we bought the ticket. We might as well just like go there, make the most of our time. We attempted to go down to the village again. And like, yes, we were there 12 hours before and we were there, very hungover, very tired. But we were like, let's go see, check it out. It's a lot. If you've never been to Pride in the city and like you attempt to like go anywhere near the parade route, and this isn't their fault. Obviously, the parade is the moment of the weekend. Like, I get it. Getting around the parade is so nearly impossible, and getting in anywhere near the parade is even more impossible. The lines are always so long. So that's why we just went with a ticket. We attempted to wait in line for some bars. We would wait like 10, 15 minutes, and then we were like, we're wasting our time. Let's just go to Brooklyn. So we made our way over to $3 Bill, and we actually had a good little group who was meeting us there. So Thomas and I headed over, just the two of us. We were there literally, we were one of the first like 10 people there. It was empty when we got there, but it was actually really nice to be there so early because there was no lines for anything. So we grabbed some food, got some drinks. We were able to like just dance and like loosen up a little bit before everybody else showed up. And then everyone showed up, I'd say like 6:37ish, and then the fun began. I will say a torrential downpour, so we were very much like in and out because like part of it was outside, we were back inside. It was a lot going on in that sense, but once the rain stopped and once we were able to like fully be outside, oh my God, we had the time of our damn lives. It was so much fun. Realistically, the night's a blur. Like we were inside, we were outside, we were at this DJ set. There was 3 stages at the bar. There's 3 different rooms you could be in. Like we were out and about. And like I said, we had like a big group with us. So we would all kind of like split up and go different ways and just like, really make the most of our time. So we would like turn one corner and find more friends. Then we would like go another way and find more friends. Then we would dance for a little bit. Then we would get more drinks and find more friends. Like it was literally just like revolving door of gay people and friends, and it's exactly what you would want. Like it was the perfect Pride experience. Adam Lambert came out and performed at one point, which was crazy. We turned around at one point, Bo and Yang was behind us. Like, it was just like, it was a lot. It was so much fun. I had a blast. And I just need to say, Charlie XCX was not lying when she said it is a Brat summer. Between the three stages at $3 Bill, I probably heard the entire Brat album in some aspect at some point throughout the time that we were there. It was literally like every other song was Charlie. Not a single complaint. Everybody was living their best Brat life. It was so much fun. I had this moment. We were walking out of the main room of $3 Bill to the like smaller part of it just to go like check it out. But we had to walk through the outdoor part to get there. So we were like walking through the outdoor dance floor, and the Girl So Confusing remix came on, and everybody else had already walked in, and I heard it, and I literally was like, turned around, went back, found a random group of gay people, danced and sang the song with them for the 3 minutes and 47 seconds, however long the song is, and we had the time of my life. So if you are those strangers and you somehow came across this and we danced together to the Girl So Confusing remix, thank you for that. It is a core memory. Couldn't point you guys out of a lineup. I'm sorry. It was dark. I was drunk. There was a lot going on, but I had the time of my life with you strangers. And then it just kept going. Like, we would get to a point where they'd be like, should we leave? And like half the friend group would be like, yeah, we're going to go. And I'm like, nope, we're staying. And we would just run back to the dance floor. Like, it was just one of those nights that we did not want to end. It was so much fun. Ugh, this Pride was one for the books. Absolutely the best time I've ever had at Pride. I loved it. I am still paying for it. I am so tired. But you know what? That's the price you pay being gay. And like I said, we have a short week this week. So we're fine. Like, we're good. We're surviving. We're thriving. We'll be all right. I will catch up on my sleep eventually. I will never be 29 years old singing the Girl So Confusing remix featuring Lord with Strangers again. You know what I mean? And with that, happy Pride. What a killer Pride month, Pride weekend. June was so much fun. It was exhausting, but I had the time of my life in June. Like, it honestly, probably one of my favorite months of my life I've ever had, and it was just chef's kiss, incredible. To anybody I partied with this weekend, to any of the people that I, saw, if I bumped into you, if we went out together, it was such a fabulous weekend. Thank you for making Pride so special. Oh my God, I got to see Jesus and Sergio from Gay Pride Apparel, which was fun. We saw them at Trixie and hung out with them for a bit. So fun seeing them. If you're new here, I was part of their 2024 Pride campaign, and I hadn't seen them since the photo shoot, so it was so good to see them, hang out with them for a bit. It was just like one big gay weekend. It was a blast. I am so tired. And let's get on with the show. So, yes, now moving on through the show and getting into the pop culture things, because that's what you guys are here for. Let's chat about some music, because there's some controversial music that came out last week that I'm excited to talk about. I was not, it's like I said, it's been a long month. I didn't even mention that these albums are coming out this week because I fully forgot. It is what it is. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? It's my show. If I forget something, who cares? But Camila Cabello did release her album last week. I honestly didn't know it was coming out. I forgot. I said it a while ago. I don't listen to her. I'm not the biggest fan. She's just like not my cup of tea anymore. I loved Fifth Harmony and I loved her first album, but I lately, the past few years just has not been my vibe. But her album did come out on Friday, and I saw so many people online saying it was so good, how much they loved it. I was like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. And the selling point was that my boyfriend Thomas, he was like, Andrew, you're going to love this album. Put it on. You're gonna love it. You have to listen. So I was like, you know what? Let me take his word for it. Like, he wouldn't tell me to listen to an album, especially Camila's album, if he didn't think I would actually love it. It's like, let me take his word for it. I'll put it on. I'm not gagging the way everybody else is. It's a good album. Like, it's fun. I enjoy it. I probably won't listen to it again. There are some songs. The one song, Dreamgirls, I really did like. That one was good. And I liked the Drake collab. I will say they were good. And I will probably listen to them, those two tracks. But the rest of the album, it was good. It was fine. Just with like the caliber of music being released. I keep saying it. I'm like, if something's going to stick for me at least this year, it really needs to like blow my socks off. And right now, all I'm listening to is Brat, Chappell Roan, and Sabrina Carpenter. Those three have honestly been my repeat. I really have not ventured too far off the path because why fix something if it's not broken? You know what I mean? Like, why switch up what you're listening to if you're loving what you're listening to? And I cannot get enough of Brat. What can I say? Sue me. I'm a gay man. So I did listen to Camila's album. I honestly did not plan to. I didn't expect to talk about it when it was announced. I didn't expect to chat about it because she's just not my thing. But I did listen to it. It was good. I understand why people like it. I'm not gagging. I'm not going to be adding it to my playlist. It's going to just, it'll exist and it is what it is. The next album that came out on Friday was an album that I was very excited about when it got announced, but I think just like, Pride Month, Brat Summer, it was a lot going on. I completely forgot that it was dropping on Friday just because it's been like Bus Club, another club. But Megan Thee Stallion's album came out on Friday. It's self-titled, it's called Megan, and I love it. You guys know I love me some Megan. I just think she is the bee's knees. I'm obsessed with her, and this album is killer. She did such a good job. I definitely need to listen to it more to really like pick my favorites, but just my first few listens, I want to say I listened to it like 3 or 4 times, fully through, start to finish. I loved it. It was so good. She is just so good at what she does. I'm obsessed with her. You guys know I love her so much. Loving this new album from Megan, and I definitely am going to be, I'll be putting it into my rotation a little bit. Not as heavily as some other releases this year, I don't think, but I'm definitely liking it. I want to listen to it a few more times and get like my favorites, pluck them out of the pack and then, add them to a playlist and go from there. But yes, loving this Megan release. It was great. She can do no wrong in my eyes. And the third and final release we had from last week was Lil Nas X. He dropped a song for the new Netflix movie Beverly Hills Cops 2. I guess it's the sequel to the first one. That's what a sequel is, Andrew. Hello. But he dropped a new song called Here We Go. And I was saying last week that I wasn't sure what to expect from a soundtrack song from him because I don't think we've ever gotten a song from him for a movie. If we have, take my stand card away, I guess, whatever. But while I was listening to it, I was like, okay, I can 100% see where this is going to fit into the movie. I'm not sure if the movie came out yet or not. I didn't even know the first one existed, to be honest. I didn't know there was going to be a second one, so it is what it is. I will never watch this movie, but while I was listening to the song, I was like, okay, I could 100% tell that this is a song for a movie, and I said that in a good way. It was fun, it was upbeat, it did what it needed to do. Will I be listening to it again? Probably not. And that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to love every song that comes out. And that's something that I've learned the last few years, especially now doing the podcast. I used to like a song would come out from an artist and I would be like, I need to listen to this song on repeat, nonstop, know all the words, know what scene it's in, what it does in the movie, how they're tied into it. And like life is so much better when you just enjoy music to enjoy music and not have to like dissect every piece of it in every second. And that is exactly what this is. Good song to listen to. It's going to do fantastic in the movie. If anybody watches it, let me know what scene it ends up in because I'm not going to watch it. Just going to say it, why lie? But yes, the song was good. I liked it. And it's like Harry Styles once said, this movie feels like a movie. This song sounds like a song for a movie. And that being said, those are all of our releases from last week. And we have a very exciting release coming out this week. So this wasn't announced until over the weekend, but Kesha is dropping a new single on Thursday, so July 4th, and it is her first single as a free woman. If you guys don't know her whole battle with Dr. Luke and that whole drama, it's crazy. It's a whole thing. It's a whole situation. I feel like if you're listening to this, you know the situation. So this is her first song that she's releasing completely as an independent artist, which is so exciting. It's called Joyride. She actually previewed it over the weekend at Planet Pride, which is like a Pride festival here in New York. I listened to some clips, but I didn't want to form any opinions off of like a live version of it. I want to wait till we have the song. So I've heard bits and pieces of it. I'm not going to say anything about it until I hear the full song this week, and we will chat about it next week. But those are our Drew releases for this week. And I need to apologize. I've been so bad with updating my Drew releases playlist. I have these playlists on Apple Music, Spotify, and for a while, every Friday, I would update them with all the new music that comes out, and I would just add my favorite songs from each album that I like, or if I would add a song that I talked about, and if I ended up not liking it, I would take it off, so it would just be like a curated list of music, essentially, of the songs that I liked from the year. I have not updated it in like a month and a half. I'm gonna get better about it. I'm gonna go through at some point this week, maybe with some of this, time off this week. I'll go through and I'll add my favorite tracks from the past few weeks on there because there's a lot. I don't even think I have anything from Brat on it. Any of the like album tracks, the singles are definitely there, but I don't think I have anything from there on it. I don't even know if I have any of Billy's album on it. I genuinely do not remember the last time I touched those playlists, but I will update them. Follow me on Instagram. I'll update on my story and let you guys know when that is all updated. So that way you guys can listen to the playlist if you want. But yes, I apologize. Those are my Drew releases from last week, from this week. And yeah, let's keep this show on the road. Just a little bit of Taylor Swift news this week. I am not going to do a full Eras Tour recap like last week because while I was editing it, I was like, I just talked about Taylor Swift for almost an hour and a half. Granted, we had Jacqueline come on, which was fabulous. It seemed like you guys loved it too, so thank you for your feedback there. But yeah, I'm not going to do a full Eras Tour recap. Last weekend was just a special weekend with everything that went down, but you guys have probably all seen it. The look on her face when Travis surprised her at the show in Dublin this weekend was so cute. She must have not known he was coming. Like, it must have been a last minute decision or something, but like he just popped up. He didn't come in until I think the folklore set, because it was during August that she saw him. He walked in, she almost spotted him immediately. It was so cute. And the look on her face, I'm just like, I love them so much. They're so cute. She was so happy to see him there. And there's also some backlash that Julia Roberts is getting for her actions at the Eras Tour, which I think is just so stupid. Fans are not happy with the way that she was like talking to Travis. She was like, she basically went up to him in the VIP tent and was like, I am so happy for you guys. And she was like scratching his shoulder and like tapping on him. But I think she was just like being, expressing herself and being like excited to talk to him. People were so mad on Twitter and TikTok, when aren't they? They were just had so much to say about the way that she talked to him, and Travis must have been so uncomfortable. There's like this weird parasocial relationship with Swifties and Travis, I mean, and Taylor, but especially after this week with Travis, where they're like, she's making him uncomfortable. That was so weird. Can, like, relax. It's not that serious. I'm sure he was fine. It's Julia Roberts. It's not a fan. Like, she's Julia fucking Roberts. I'm sure Travis was okay. It was a 10-second interaction, and then they went on into their thing. Like, the discourse online about this moment is so stupid and uncalled for. Grow up. It's fine. Travis Kelce is a full grown man. I'm sure he can handle Julia Roberts fawning over him for 15 seconds. We're good to go there. But yes, that being said, so cute to see the way Taylor was so excited to see him over the weekend. There's also a statement that came out that said Taylor's going to do as many Chiefs games as she can this upcoming season. The Eras Tour does overlap with football season. I think it goes until like December 10th or December 8th, something like that. So she'll miss a few games, I guess, while she's doing it. But after that, she's ready to go full-fledged into football. So we will soon be getting tons of Taylor and Travis content at the NFL games again. Honestly, it was so much fun last year watching all the straight men get so mad about Taylor Swift being at these NFL games. And I'm so excited for her to go back for a second season because it's going to be more than ever this upcoming season, because now it's like, obviously we're so much deeper into this relationship. So very excited to see how mad all these men get over Taylor being there. I personally cannot wait. But moving on from Taylor Swift, somebody who I don't think I've ever mentioned her name on this podcast, and not intentionally, she just doesn't usually make headlines, and that's not a drag, but Bebe Rexha has a lot to say on Twitter. She took to Twitter, or X, I guess. I'm never going to call it X. Bebe Rexha took to Twitter this morning and had a lot to say. She said, and I quote, I could break down a big chunk of this industry. I am frustrated. I have been undermined. I've been so quiet for the longest time. I haven't seen the signs even though the people constantly are bringing them up and they have been so obvious. And when I have spoken up, I've been silenced and punished by this industry. Things must change or I'm telling all of my truths, the good, the bad, and the ugly. She is mad as hell, and I don't blame her. She goes on to say, this is not just coming from a place of anger, it's sadness. I'm sitting in my hotel room in London crying my eyes out. I felt hopeless for the longest time. I've been walking a lot through the city and meeting a lot of fans, and it's really ignited something inside of me. She was also tweeting back at people. Somebody said, oh, this is a great marketing tactic with your new song coming out. She was like, this is not marketing. I don't have a budget for that. Like, this is me truly just like being upset. She was going back and forth saying, like, it's not fair the way I'm treated in this industry. And honestly, after reading this and thinking about it, it's kind of true. And just like I said, Bebe Rexha doesn't really make headlines. So there's something going on, I feel like, maybe with her management, because she does make really good music. She was the opener for the Happiness Begins tour for the Jonas Brothers back in 2019. So I saw her a lot because I went to that tour too many times, and I'd like to admit, we're not going to talk about it, but I saw her open for them pretty much every night for at least a little bit. She is so good. She's so fun. I feel like her music is she has hits, you know what I mean? Like, her music ends up being everywhere, and there is something weird that she doesn't have more commercial success. So I'm waiting for that Netflix documentary. I'm waiting for this tell-all from Bebe Rexha about what the fuck is going on with her management, because why don't they have a marketing budget for her? Why isn't her music bigger? You could hear it in every H&M around the country, but why isn't she? I mean, she's never going to, and I would say the same thing about Sabrina Carpenter, about Tate McRae, about Olivia Rodrigo. It's never going to be Taylor Swift. It'll never be Beyonce. They're just not those girls. There's only one Taylor Swift. There's only one Beyonce. But Bebe Rexha could definitely be pulling like Tate McRae numbers and Tate McRae success, and it's a little weird that she isn't. So ready for that tell-all whenever Bebe is ready to, spill the beans. And she did just have a song come out last week, and again, I didn't know about it. Maybe that's on me. Maybe I'm just not too in tune with the Bebe Rexha's radar. Maybe I need to follow like Bebe Rexha updates on Twitter. But she did have a song come out last week that I just found out about today. So I'm gonna go stream it. Everybody go stream a Bebe Rexha song or two. Let's get our girl some coin. Not me turning into a Bebe Rexha stan. It's there is just so much like dirty, like sliminess in the music industry, and you don't know about it until these artists speak up. So I am all for these artists fully just being like, fuck this, I'm more talented than this, I deserve more than this. And it seems like she's just like at a breaking point, which I don't blame her. If this is what's been going on for so long and thinking back at it, it's like, yeah, this does kind of make sense. She's been making music for so long and she's not, I mean, is she making groundbreaking music? No, but it's good music that should have more of a buzz around it. So I'm ready for whatever tea she's about to spill because I feel like it's going to be piping hot. Moving on, some TV news. We have a new Housewife of New York, which is so exciting because I did not think we were going to get anybody else added to the cast. If you remember a few months ago, I talked about how the cast is all returning. There were some rumors about some new people joining, but weren't really 100% sure. But as of last week, Racquel Chevremont has joined the cast of Real Housewives of New York. She is a model and an art curator. She's been doing art curation for like 20 years. She's been on the cover of like International Elle. She's walked in a ton of shows. So she's definitely, in the scene doing her thing. She actually has done like art curation for a lot of TV shows. She did like Law and Order, I saw, lots of like galleries and things. So she has an eye for art. She's an artsy fartsy gal, which we love. But what we love more than that is we are getting another lesbian on the show. We obviously already have Jenna Lyons, but now we are getting a second queer housewife on this season, which is so exciting. So I did some research just to kind of see, what her vibe is, what's going on. And not only is she a part of the community, but she is creating safe spaces for the community. She is the co-founder of the Josie Club, which is a Black, queer, femme, and women supported and operated social impact group that organizes community around collaborative event productions. They said on their website that they produce spaces and atmospheres that are safe, welcoming, and luxurious, which we love to see. I feel like it's one thing to be part of the community and be a voice and be somewhat of a public figure. Now you're going to be on TV, but to also be giving back and creating a space for the community, especially the Black queer community, is so exciting. So I loved that. She said that she is hoping to show people a loving, fun family along with her chosen family. So her and her partner have 2 children, and she said that she is trying to show people a loving, fun family along with her chosen family, which I love that. Chosen family in the queer community is such a important thing, like having a community around you, whether it is queer people, straight people, just your chosen family, being anybody who is gay or any type of LGBTQIA plus identifying, having a chosen family is so important. So I love that she is bringing that into the show. She also said that she wants to show that we all have more similarities than not. Queer women can be successful, beautiful, and in loving relationships, raising children too. That world exists. She hopes that seeing her and her family and being able to relate to them regardless of their sexual orientation will change a couple of hearts and minds, which I love. I am already loving her just from what I've read about her, from the few things that she has said online. So I'm very excited to be seeing her joining the crew. Going to be a very fun mix. I'm very excited for this season. We don't have a date yet. We don't know when it's coming out, but I will be seated. We will be recapping it every week, just like we did season 1, and I am so excited. And in other TV news, RuPaul's Drag Race Canada vs. the World season 2 is coming out in just a few weeks, July 19th, and I'm very excited for this cast, to be honest. There's only 2 girls on the list who I'm not familiar with. I try to keep up with the international seasons, but it's a lot. If like what people who watch every single season of Drag Race, all the franchises, all of the, like, I commend you. It's a lot to keep up with, but I do know a majority of these queens, and I do like the ones who are on the list that I do know, so I'm very excited, and I'm excited to see some new girls who I'm not familiar with and join the bunch. Obviously, they must have done well in their season if they're back for a Canada vs. the World season. So let's go through this list. Let's just chat. We have Alexis Mateo coming back. She'll be back for her 4th season. Cheryl Hole, who now goes by Cheryl, back for her 3rd season. Eureka's back for a 4th time. LaPhil is back for her 2nd time. She's one of the queens I'm not familiar with. La Kahena, again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. She's the 2nd one I'm not familiar with. Is back for her 2nd season. Kennedy Davenport back for a 3rd time. That's the bitch I cannot wait to have back on my TV. I'm so excited. Another bitch who I cannot wait to have back on my TV is Lemon. I'm very excited. It's her third time competing. And then Miss Fierce Alicious. I didn't watch her season, but she is just so funny on Twitter. So I know her from like the internet. So excited to watch her compete. I do want to go back and watch her season because every time I see her on my timeline, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it may be, I'm like, oh, this bitch kind of eats. So definitely want to watch her season, but I'm excited to see her on this season and kind of get my like introduction to her on her second time back. And then Tynomi Banks, who I did watch her season. She was on Canada season 1 or season 2, I believe. I did like her on her first season that I saw her on. So I'm excited for her to be back. But I'm excited. This list is good. I feel like it's got a good mix from all of the different franchises, all the different, we have different levels of queens. Some of them are back for their second time, some are back for their fourth time. So we have a good mix, and I'm very excited. Also, very exciting, Raja O'Hara is going to be there judging, which is fun. I love when they bring in queens from the franchise to judge because who better to be a drag race judge than a drag race queen? I can't think of anyone. So, very excited to see her on her episode. Obviously, I love Brooklyn Heights, so I'm excited to have her back on my TV hosting the show as she does. So, yeah, very excited. I'm excited to recap it. We will be chatting about it, we will be talking about it. That is coming out July 19th, so stay tuned for that. And while we are on the topic of RuPaul's Drag Race, let's hop into our TV recap for the week. We are talking about RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 9. The episode starts out and the girls are doing a photo shoot for their mini challenge. They are posing in various different vacation spots. Again, the mini challenges are so interesting to me because they just have these girls doing whatever the fuck they want. And it's so entertaining. It is so wild. They must just like throw things at a dartboard, different like words, and be like, all right, photo shoot, vacation, doing this, and like however they come up with it. Again, I talked about it last week, but it is so admirable the level of creativity they take to do these mini challenges. So Nina West ends up winning, and now she wins another $2,500 for her charity. Love to see it. And we then find out that the challenge this week is the girls are making outfits based on RuPaul music. So each girl gets to pick a different song by RuPaul and gets a pile of like fabrics and garments, things like that, inspired by the song. And this was a fun challenge. I thought this was really, really cool. Just like a fun way to kind of get the girls, again, connected to Ru. I feel like this season just feels like Ru is more in tune with the girls. Like they're spending so much time with the queens, like Ru with the queens, I mean, also just the girls like connecting with each other and now doing this with Ru's music. Like they're just different levels of, I feel like, the relationships with the queens and Ru this season that we don't always get. So I'm really loving that aspect of it. And honestly, I loved everybody's looks this week. So let's go through Miss Angeria. You guys know my girl. She killed it. I loved her look. Her Ru song was Cake and Candy, and I thought she killed it. I thought it was so good. Gottmik had new friend silver, old friends gold. That bitch can turn a fucking look. The way that she took that fabric, sewed it together, turned it inside out, braided it together, and then made a dress out of it and made a whole concept with it. Like, that was so impressive. She is so good at what she does. She does drag to a different level, and it is so admirable. I loved her look. Georgia's had I Bring the Beat. She had a cute look. She definitely pulled it off so well. They were saying on the pit stop this week, they were like, when we saw that pile of fabric, we didn't know what to expect. I felt the same way. It was this like galaxy metallic material and then like neon green, which definitely can work, but you have to do it right. And Georges did it right. I thought she killed it. It was cute. It wasn't my favorite look ever. Like it was very simple, but she did a good job at putting it together and making it not just be a boring look. You know what I mean? Next up, we had Nina. She had Cha Cha Bitch, and she did such a good job with this look. I really liked it. These past 2 weeks, I've been so impressed with Nina, which is not where I was at the beginning of the season. But these past 2 weeks, she's been doing really, really well, and I loved it. Thought she did a really good job for especially going out of her comfort zone. Cha Cha isn't really Nina West's gig, so the fact that she was able to take what she was given and just kind of like turn it into something that wasn't terrible, very proud of Nina this week. Next, we had Plastique. She had Star Baby, and she just, I mean, come on. Making that entire outfit, the giant star, the train, like, she is too good for words. obsessed. And just like the fact that she's able to do it in the time allotted and it's done so well. It's not like she it looks like she put it together in like 10 minutes. Like it looks like this was made before she got to the show. She is unreal. She is incredible. I love her. Next up, we had Roxy. One thing about Roxy Andrews is she is going to turn a design challenge. She knows how to sew, she knows her body, she knows how to put something together. This is no different. She had Lady Cowboy, and she did such a good job. I love this look. Next up, we had Chanel, who had Hey Bitches Christmas. One thing about Chanel, two things about Chanel. One, the bitch loves Christmas, and two, she's going to sell a garment. The dress was nothing crazy. Let's call it what it is. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like groundbreaking. You know what I mean? It was cute. It looked like Christmas threw up on her in the best way possible, but she can sell a fucking garment on that runway. She could walk down that runway in a hefty trash bag. Just the way that she sells it to the judges, she would look great in it. And I love this look. I thought it was really, really fun. And who better to do a Christmas look than Chanel? Nobody. Finally, we had Vanjie, who had Kitty Girl. It was cute. I liked it. Nothing crazy, but she looked good. Vanjie is just so stunning. I think she could literally, like Chanel, she could walk out in a brown paper bag, and her mannerisms and just the way she does her hair, her makeup, like she can just sell it. She knows what she's doing. But I did love that like purple leopard print kind of vibe on her, or cheetah, whatever it was. Gorgeous, stunning, loved it. I love Vanjie. I think I'm biased just because like I genuinely am obsessed with Vanjie. Who isn't? But yes, I love this look. This was a good runway. I thought everybody really did a good job. They had to fully come up with a concept, design it, and just like that's not easy to do. Even if it is your second, third, fourth time on Drag Race, like it's not the easiest thing to do. So the fact that they all did a pretty good job, I would say, very impressive. We then come to find out that Plastique and Roxy win. Again, I was happy with really everybody's looks this week. I'm fine with this. I'm very happy with it. They end up lip syncing to No One Gets the Prize by Diana Ross. Roxy wins, which, I mean, Roxy has literally never lost a lip sync on Drag Race. That is such a crazy thing to be able to say. She has never in her life lost a lip sync for her life. That is incredible. I think this was her fifth time lip syncing ever on Drag Race, and never losing. That's impressive. She needs like a plaque. I hope they give her like some type of like, I don't know, commemorative something, because like that is very impressive to never lose a lip sync. To nobody's surprise, she heads over and cuts off Angeria. Even Angeria knew it was coming. She literally held her hand out to take the ruby red snippers. But in better news, this is the last week that they can cut somebody off. So we must be getting to the end of the season, because I feel like they wouldn't stop the cutting off if there was still a while to go, which is sad because I am really liking this season. But it is nice because now there's going to be no more of this like cattiness. Cutting people off every week is going to just end it. The Roxy and Angeria beef, that's not even beef, it's just like they're both killing the competition and are pretty much just like neck and neck for the crown. Now we can put this to rest, do our thing, and no more drama over that. So we love to see it. Hate to see Angeria not be able to get a badge next week, but it is what it is. Let's see what happens next week. I believe next week is a Rusical, which I love a good Rusical. So very excited for that. And with that, we have made it to the end of the episode. But you guys know the drill. I end every show with my yes and my mess of the week. My yes being something I'm loving and my mess being something I am not loving. We always start on a high note. And this week's yes, I'm obsessed with. I love it so much. It is this new Halsey era. She dropped her single a few weeks ago, and it was very, very sad. It was pretty much about her being diagnosed and being sick, and like just what she went through for the past 2 or 3 years, not releasing music. And like it was very sad. But it seems like she put that out, got her message out, and now she said she's starting at the end. And now she's spinning it into this like Y2K, early 2000s, like pink hair. She did the whole like Disney Channel back in the day, like you're watching Disney Channel thing, like very nostalgic vibe. And she is literally sampling Lucky by Britney Spears on the new song that she is teasing. It does not get more Y2K than Lucky by Britney Spears. It's so major. I am so excited for this era. I wasn't sure exactly where she was going to go after that lead single, but I think the way that she released that and now she's taking a completely different turn. Normally I'd be like, not the best idea, but the way that she's doing it is so well done, because she said, I'm starting this album at the end. She is telling us, hey, here's what happened. I was sick. Here's what was going on. And then immediately is shifting into this different kind of vibe where, I mean, she's done a few different genres. Like she's had her hands in a few buckets over the years, so she can definitely kind of genre bend a little bit. So I'm excited to see where we go from there. I'm loving this vibe of this era. I think it's going to be major for her. Cannot wait. And just like sampling Britney is fucking crazy. I'm so excited. On the other hand, my mess for this week, and I'm going to keep this short and sweet. The mess is the country. My mess is literally the state of America right now. Because what the fuck? The debate last week, I don't even know. I'm not going to begin because we're doomed. I hate to say it and I hate to be negative because that is not like me. I'm a very positive person. We are so fucked. We are so fucked. I don't know where this election is going to take us at the end of this year, but I'm scared either way. And I'm not thrilled with our Democratic candidate either, but we need to vote blue. Please make sure you are voting in your local elections because that's really where it all starts. Like power, it is small and mighty, and it is just I'd like to think that the people listening to this podcast are like-minded like me and are voting in their local elections, voting in every election, educating themselves, educating the people around them, surrounding themselves with people who are like-minded. But like this is scary. This presidential election is kind of freaking me out, and I hate to get political on the podcast because I like this to be a fun, lighthearted space, but it's very real and it's very scary. So yeah, just make sure you're educating yourself. Let's do what we can to not be completely fucked come November, okay? Please just let's try. And with that, thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of Too Pop to Handle. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked what you heard and you're listening to us as a podcast, make sure you leave us a 5-star rating, leave us a review. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, drop a comment. I say it every week. If everybody listening shares this episode with one friend, I'll double in listeners. It is simple math. You guys have heard it by now. You know the drill. Make sure you're telling your friends. If you would like to follow us on social media, we are at 2pop to handle on all social platforms: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. If you'd like to follow me on my social medias, I am at Andrew Nucatola on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. And with that, I will catch you guys next week. Bye.